Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all good. Friday night, the lights are on. Baz is on his own. He's just had his tea. The wife is out for a bit, and I am going to whack out a beer review now. I've just done one. I've done one about an hour before, and this beer, as you'll see from the title, is a Christmas beer, and the previous one was a Christmas beer, but this is mid-November when I'm recording this, but obviously I'm going to keep them till sort of December time. And it's another one that was sent to me from Liam at Deep in Brews Review, so a big thank you to Liam for that. And it's from a brewery that I believe I've had 3 beers from now, and they're all sent to me from Liam, and this is the 4th one, and it's from Pheasantry Brewery, who are out of Nottingham, or Nottinghamshire, whichever. Nottingham's going to be Nottinghamshire, isn't it? Anyway, and like I say, it's like a Christmassy kind of beer. And this is a bottle of their Beer Humbug. And this is a dark Christmas ale, coming in at 4.2% in a 500ml bottle. I like the artwork, kind of simple. Am I a Beer Humbug kind of Christmas guy? Too right, I'm a right miserable bastard, me. Can't be doing with Christmas. I like the time off, but I can't be doing with all the other festivities. It's a bit different when you're old like me. Once you've seen it once, you've seen it 53 times. So yeah, we're going to be taking a look at this. Not sure how much it cost. I'm going to guess around the £2 to £2.50 mark, maybe even slightly over. But I wouldn't imagine this was any more than £3. Now, as I said in the other video, which would have been up the day before this, possibly, or before this one, I don't know. I'm always a bit dubious about some Christmas beers because they call it a Christmas ale. They put this Christmassy label on, but is it actually any different? Does it actually have that Christmassy flavour? Now, in the last video that I've done, that would have maybe possibly been up before this one, there wasn't any Christmas element to it, in my opinion. There wasn't even much IPA element to it, if I'm really honest. So that kind of niggles me a little bit. I think if you're going to... Too many breweries just whack a label on saying Christmas, oh, buy it, buy it, buy it. It's going to be this, that and the other. And it's not. It's just a standard beer. Anyway, there's my little gripey, moany moment. This has been out the fridge for a while. I was going to review this one first, but it's been out for a while, so it's warmed up a little bit, being a dark beer. I've got a dirty glass. That is very rare for me, but I can't be asked to change it. It's going in a Stonehouse glass, non-nucleated, but it's a real ale sort of glass, so hopefully it will suit this beer. Let's get it cracked open and see what we get. Don't forget to go and check Liam out over at Deep in Brews Reviews. He's from Market Deeping, or yeah, Market Deeping. Apparently the same place where Martin Adams lives, Wolfie, the old darts player. So if you see him, say hello. And if you happen to see him and you sort of recognise him because of me, say Baz sent me over here to come and annoy you. Annoy Liam. He's a pain in the arse. No, he's a lovely chap. He's a lovely chap. A little bit on the back. Serve cool, not cold. Water, malted barley, wheat, hops and yeast. Allergens in bold. So, shop probably should have been more forceful with the pour. It's a real ale. It needs a bit more fucking welly when you pour it. But beer in a glass, for me, dark brown sort of colour, deep sort of chestnut, not seeing any bubbles go up. It doesn't surprise me with this glass, and the head was very minimal, but I'm sure if I'd been a bit more ferocious with the pour, we would have had a bit more, but it's just a sprinkling of white on top. And again, like I said in the other review, the IPA one that I've done, much better, I bet, on cask. So I'm not going to top it up anymore. Yes, it's going to look like that, but we will go in with the nose and see what we get. Dark ale. I do like him. Yeah. Where am I? Chocolate I'm going to go with. Malty. Chocolate. Toffee note maybe in there. Toffee caramel maybe. I could be pulled up on that one. Licorice sort of thing maybe going on. And I do like that licorice aroma and even that sort of licorice sort of taste that you get in some of these dark ales. It does smell like it has a spiciness. The toffee thing, I think actually toffee caramel, I'm going to put down to sort of like a little cinnamon note. The typical sort of Christmas note, cinnamon nutmeg thing. Because there's a warming on the nose, but it does smell nice. It does smell nice. And this may well actually be one that has a Christmassy feel to it, which is what I like to see. If you're gonna, oh shit, have I done, no, perfect. Perfect. I didn't think it was going to be. Look at that. Look how much difference that beer looks. Just with a slightly more vigorous pour. Looks like a belter. Smells nice anyway. Hopefully we're going to get some Christmas notes on it. Big thank you to Liam over at Deep in Brews Reviews. Dark Christmas Ale, Beer Humbug from Pheasantry Brewing out of Nottingham. 4.2%. Let's dive in. Ooh, got a real strong sort of taste on the back end. This beer may well develop as I drink it. My initial thought to start off with was a bit bland, not a lot going on really, and then ended with a bigger punch to it. Like I say, could just be me. So we got the rest in, let's go in again. .2%, standard 4.2% body. Again, would be better on cask. On the old hand pull would be much better. I think the body would be a lot more fuller. I was maybe hoping for a bit more weight to this beer. I know bottled beer, when you get real ales, they never quite live up to cask, but I was expecting a little bit more in weight, if I'm honest. That said, it's not watery thin, but it is light. It's 4.2%. Pretty smooth. Has got a nice sort of smoothness to it. Carbonation is minimal. So there is a plus side to that sort of lighter body. The fact that the carbonation is sort of minimal, it does aid the beer. It does give it a smooth, almost creamy feel. There are some nice notes in the taste. Now maybe it's just me, but again, a little bit like the IPA. I'm going to say this is better than the IPA, in my opinion. The one that I've reviewed already, which could be up before this or after. For me, straight, this is better than that one. There's a lot more going on in the taste. That said, it still has that little bit of, it could still do with that little bit more oomph in the flavour. First thing I get is a hoppiness. You get the bitterness following that straight away. You get that hoppy flavour, is what I'm saying. You get the bitterness behind that. It's malty. There is subtle chocolate notes. And right on the very back end, it does leave you with a licorice sort of bitterness, I'm going to say. It sort of starts out hoppy and the hoppy bitterness. On the back end, right on the back end, it does tail off to that sort of licorice sort of bitterness that licorice leaves you with, if you know what I mean. But it does feel a little bit empty. That said, nothing wrong with it. Again, like the IPA, and I will arc back to saying I do think this is better beer. Yeah, a big, for me, licorice element to this beer, which is nice. It is a nice note. It has got flavour, but it lacks a little bit of depth, this beer. I think at 4.2%, it's maybe not doing this beer any favours. And again, once I say out of a bottle, I don't think it's going to do it any favours or like it would on cask. I think if this beer was hitting 5 to 6%, I think that is where this beer needs to be. It needs to be that bit more fuller. It needs to have a bit more robustness in the flavour. And I think if it had that, this would be a really, really top quality sort of real ale. Like I say, nothing really wrong with it. If you like these sort of lower ABV beers, lower ABV ales, this may well be up your street. Me personally, nothing against them, but if it's going to be that little bit lower, it does have to be something that little bit extra. This, for me, doesn't have that little bit extra, but I think this would gain from having a little bit extra ABV in it. So, yeah, the beer is nice enough, nothing nasty in there. Could do with a bit more, could be a downside worse, but it could just do with a little bit more. But I'm still getting that licorice note on the back end, and I do like that. I do like that note in there. That is probably the shining light for my personal taste, is that little licorice note that it leaves you with. But Pheasantry Brewery and their Beer Humbug, a dark Christmas ale, 4.2%. Like I say, am I really getting any? There are notes, yeah. There are them sort of Christmassy notes. Is there enough of it? Yeah, I suppose there's a spicy note in there, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to knock this one. It says Beer Humbug. It's got the Christmassy notes. It's quite nice, but could be a much better. But a decent drop nonetheless. So there you go. If you're thinking about picking up this dark Christmas ale, if you like them kind of around this ABV, and not too potent on flavours, this will be up your street. If you like them bigger and bolder, I'd still say give it a try, but you might be slightly disappointed. And if you've had this beer before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. 13 minutes in, shut the hell up, Baz. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you again soon on another one. Thank you.